Yes, Spandau Ballet needs little introduction, and now, after a hiatus of more than 20 years, the boys are finally back together. They are true 80s icons. With over 25 million albums sold and a back catalogue of 23 global chart-topping singles, Spandau Ballet were, and still remain, one of the most successful bands of all time. At the forefront of the new romantic movement, the group made music history before an untimely split in 1989. Now, more than 3 decades since they started out, the original lineup is back and bigger than ever with a new album and a smash film documenting their rise to fame. And Spandau Ballet joins us live in the studio. Hi guys.
Hey guys. Hello. Good to be back.
And Tony True just came on and you started singing. I just thought it was us plebs.
That's really sad, isn't it? Singing along to our own song. No, I was just mucking about.
I just thought we'd just do that.
But it was a muckabout version.
It was a muckabout. It was a pub-style version.
But it still sounded nice.
Oh, you would have been kicked out of a pub if you sang it like that.
I'd be kicked out of band in a minute.
I've been up 20 years gone then, eh?
I'd like to get kicked into a pub at the moment.
Is he the boss? Does he like his word to go? Or do you guys listen to him?
That's the trouble with this band. We all like our word to go. There's five very individual people. We've all got sort of set agendas and stuff. And yeah, but it works. I mean, it's a combination that works.
Well, it didn't work
for 20 years.
But that's the same with every band. You know, it takes lots of small cogs to make a great big machine.
Yeah, and it was and still is a great machine, right? But looking back at that, the old vision there, where you're also young and pretty and great hair and look at you, you're all the same. You're all the same. The only difference is you don't.
Matured.
The only difference is now you don't know where you are or where you're going tomorrow.
That was the same in the 80s, so it's fine.
Have you seen Spinal Tap? It's our job to be confused.
You spoke about, well, you didn't speak about Split. We saw the Split mentioned there. How is it that you do get back together? Because that takes a lot.
It's a lot.
I mean, I wanted to get the band back together at one point because I had to remix a DVD of the band playing live, and I was sort of in denial about how good we were.
Yeah.
And it was wow, you know, we need to find closure, and so it took a few years before we actually all got together in a room at the same time, and it was documented. It's in the film. Martin set up a camera. You see that moment.
And did it take that break to a degree to make you reflect and go, this is how good we were, and all those cogs you're talking about get sort of juiced up again?
It was also 20 years being apart from guys that you grew up with since you were a child, and that has an enormous effect in your life. You want them back again. You want to complete that. You want closure. Besides the musical stuff, of course.
I've got a stat here that says that the documentary, your new documentary, the second highest grossing film in the UK when it was released.
Yeah.
Did I hear the boys say you said to set up a camera when you did get back together in that room? Was that?
Oh yeah,
that's for the second film.
We all had cameras around at different times, but I remember with the first wages that I ever got from Spandau Ballet, which was £60, and it was given to me in the middle of a nightclub. I went out and bought a Super 8 camera, and that was the beginning of it, really. Yeah, and you know, the film isn't really, and I think the reason for the success of the film is it's not your regular rockumentary. It's about friendship. We had a female director, George Henkin, who found the essence of the story with you know, the personality of us guys and in a way the sort of naivety of being in a band and then losing a band.
But it's also it's a very interesting film because you've got lots of doco footage from the 60s, the 70s, the punk era. You know, Britain was going through a massive change in the 80s with Thatcher, the strikes, the economic climate
and
at the time.
And a lot of Aussie stuff in there.
So it was a real change, not only for us as a band, but it's as a viewing thing, it's quite historical, which is nice.
So much has changed since you guys were,
you
know, YouTube and all that sort of stuff. John, what do you think about like bands today? Do you think they've got that longevity? Do you think?
I think, you know, being successful is very difficult in the first place. Having longevity is doubly difficult. I think Spandau are a very traditional band. You know, we play our instruments and I count to 4 and off we go. I think that just the way music's delivered now is totally different to when we started. But you have to roll with it. You have to deal with the territory at the time.
You could have more mystique in those days. You know, you could give. You know, you weren't exposed as much as you are now. You know, you do a little private gig like we did in the early days, and it would be all over YouTube immediately.
Yeah, so. Right.
Are you glad that happened to you back then, or do you think you'd be able to cope with the way things are now?
Well, we're coping with the way things are now, but we're all involved in social media and with the film and everything.
You've got to be quite good at what you do as well. You can't expect to be around for God knows how many years.
We wrote some. We made some hits. So.
Yeah, I'm glad we started when we did. I mean, it was a different kind of climate.
I think the strength for the band has always been our live work. You know, we're a proper good live band.
Absolutely.
Not everyone can say that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I couldn't possibly comment.
just count to 4 and off you go, right?
Well, that's if the lead singer remembers to come in after 4. That's the big problem. No.
But looking back, just quickly, was there some dodgy stuff as well? Was there some regretful stuff looking back over the old vision?
Never regret
Come on, now you know.
We're the most clean-living boys in the world, and there's never been anything.
I know exactly where you're coming from. The next question was going to be, do you regret some of those outfits, right? And I can tell you, hand on heart, no, absolutely. When we wore that stuff, we were really proud of it. And what we were doing at the time was representing the kids that were in the clubs, that were on the streets of London. Yeah. You know, London in the 80s, pop culture was a very different place.
Kids have always dressed up, especially in London.
You know? Mods, rockers, you know, glam rock, you know. That's just a very, very British youth thing.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so good to see you back on our shores after
a
long time.
I'm coming back in May on tour.
I know, on tour.
Yeah.
We'll save those seats for you. No one else will sit on those seats.
Come back and talk to us again when you.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you for having us.
No, don't push it. Hold on to the moon. It's part of the mystery. You give it into this. It's part of the mystery. You give it into this. So come on. Take what you're after, take what you want, trap people after and smash me with song. You know how I feel, so come along and steal.
Yeah!
Spandau Ballet's new album, The Story, the very best of Spandau Ballet, which includes new tracks too. It's out now. The guys will be touring Australia nationally in May next year. Tickets are available from November 20th.